amazing guests. And I know that when we bring this next guest in, Didi, our numbers are going to leap across Facebook. People are going to get so excited when they realize that we have none other than a two-time gold medalist in the Olympics from Great Britain, Alistair Brownlee. Thank you so much for joining us, Alistair. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing okay. I'm sitting in a chair. How about you?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. I'm at home, chilling out. Done a long day's training, so it's kind of good to be watching some other people hurting.
Now you're at home in Leeds, in the UK. How have you been adapting your training? You're coming out of some restrictions now, getting a little bit more freedom in how you can approach your training. Tell us a little bit about how you've been managing during this time.
Yeah, I've been at home for most of the lockdown. Actually, I was in the States in New Mexico just when everything was kicking off, and flew home rather urgently. And yeah, I've just been kind of training solidly. I've been doing different things like exploring trails and stuff on my gravel bike, a bit of swimming outdoors in rivers and lakes. Enjoyed that. Trying to find new trails, running, and enjoying doing that. And also just try to be really consistent. When I had a couple of weeks pretty chilled when it first all locked down and everything, and then I thought I want to get myself in a consistent routine, including swimming. So I get up and swim every morning at 8 in the endless pool, or sometimes outside now, cycling and running obviously, and even a bit of gym. Anyway, routine that I could kind of do in 3 or even 6 months time if I needed to. And away from not too not let anything go and not do too much that I could get fed up and fall off a cliff in a few weeks time. So I think I've managed that okay so far.
Well, that's great, Alistair. Thank you so much for those tips. I think there's some good take homes there. The routine part is huge. I'll ask you this, just specifically to Ironman, my friend. You did Ireland, you did Kona, and then you did Western Australia. And I think after you won Ironman Western Australia, you made note of how you're still kind of figuring out this Ironman puzzle. Could you talk to us about that and the journey you're on with Ironman, please?
Yeah, sure. I've raced in endurance sport my entire life in all kinds of events, every distance of triathlon, running from track races, 5, 10K, cross country, fell races, long distance races, cycling events, cyclocross, all kinds of things. So, but Ironman, the big thing that's different about it is it takes 8 hours. So, even with a respect to how different it is to half Ironman, it's that length of time and fueling yourself for that, I think. And yeah, learning how to do that, basically how to efficiently and effectively get carbs into you in the best possible way for you personally, I think, and how to do that and when to do that has been the important part for me.
Now, Alistair, by virtue of your finish at Western Australia, you have punched your ticket to Kona. Now that Kona has been postponed until February, what sorts of things will you do similar to your approaches for your previous attempt at the World Championship? And what will you do differently as you make your next bid in Kona?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with Kona yet because unfortunately, I think Kona in February isn't very conducive with then trying to do Olympic distance after that. Whereas the other way around, I think it'd work okay. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure, so I might put it off till October. But I'm kind of seeing what other races are going on at the moment, and if I could, I'll race again later this year. But who knows? We'll see. I think in terms of how the approach will be different, I think quite a lot of things the same. I actually only trained a little bit different for Western Australia, but got a few other things. Try to really focus on nutrition, for example. Obviously getting used to the specific conditions of Kona in the heat and the course and the strength of the sunshine and everything, I think is quite important. So a bit more specificity around that, and just a really solid kind of pacing strategy. I think I've just got a better idea of the kind of effort I can maintain over 8 hours and the best way to do that. So yeah, I think it was important. It was really important for me, in my own head, that I got that good result or a successful Ironman in Western Australia at the end of last year.
Super. Well, I tell you what, selfishly, I want to see a lot of Brownlee years at the Ironman distance because I enjoy watching you race. But for you personally, what goals still await you? You've just done so much. What sits on your triathlon goal horizon?
Well, yeah, obviously to I think they're two big goals in my long distance triathlon in my triathlon career. But yeah, who knows? I still want to be at the Olympic Games next year as well. Now it's next year, if possible. So we'll see how I come out this period, and that's what I was training for 2 months ago before everything stopped. And I was really kind of surprised and pleased how the body responded to going back and doing short distance and trying to be quick again. So actually, I think some of the long distance stuff had just been able to train at a lower intensity a lot over a long period of time had been good for me. Really built up some good resilience and just good base fitness, and being able to push on from that, I think worked well. So even just the learning about me and my body and how that's changing over time and stuff, I think is interesting as well. So carry on just trying to be as successful as I can across different races that entertain me.
That's great, Alistair. We really appreciate your time and your insights and your thoughts, your self-reflection, certainly. And speaking for Michael, we hope to see you perhaps at a VR race, potentially somewhere in the future. We'd love to have you out racing, but we really appreciate your time. You stay safe, and thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.